Hello viewer, welcome back to my video, my channel. Welcome back to my channel, Hocantalk. Now today this video I'm going to teach you all another new financial topic or business topic. This topic is called syndicated loan. Syndicated loan. Now this is a very commonly used financial term in the banking industry. And I'm quite sure a lot of you all, if you are involved in corporate fundraising, if you are working in a big company, when this big company need to raise money or borrow money from bank, you will come across a kind of a loan arrangement called the syndicated loan. Syndicated loan. Now this video, I will focus on what is syndicated loan and give you all a very detailed explanation. Again, I hope you all please subscribe to my video and forward this video to your friend so that to give me the support to produce more video. To benefit you all. Now again, like as usual, you see I don't comb, I don't wear fancy food dress, but I focus on substance and to transfer the knowledge to you through paper and pen method. Now let's start with the first slide. Now today the video is about syndicated loan. Chinese is called 银团贷款. Now this is a very big thing. A lot of big amount of loan is arranged in this manner. Now what is syndicated loan? Syndicated loan is actually no different from other kind of lending, but in this case, the borrower need much more money, a bigger amount of money, and a lot of banks do not want to take the risk alone. So the bank, for example, if a company like Apple, like Singapore, a huge company, they want to borrow $1 billion US, then to one bank to lend $1 billion to one borrower, they might think the risk is too high. So they want to get more banks to involve to form a syndicate so that everybody can come out some and the totality can reach 1 billion. So everybody share the risk. So a syndicated loan means a few banks, a group of banks group together and lend money to one borrower. So this is called syndicated loan. Now syndicated loan, is a kind of structure and you need professional bankers, lawyer, accountant, a group of professionals to organize and structure this. So the next slide, I'm going to talk about feature of syndicated loan. Well, who are the party involved? What are the things involved? What are the unique feature? Now, like I mentioned, if you look at this slide, there are multiple banks as lenders. So there are more than one bank. So if one bank is not called syndicated loan, it's bilateral loan. So if many banks involved as a lender, that is called a syndicated loan. Now, there's only one borrower. So in this case, for example, Apple, Tesla, or in Singapore, some of the big company, there are only one borrower, but the amount they want to borrow is very big. Now, all the terms of the loan are the same. So despite the fact that there are so many lenders, everybody will sign one legal document to supervise, to legalize the loan arrangement. So one set of document. No bank can discuss different set of terms with the borrower. Everybody will go into this loan arrangement with the same terms and conditions. But who will do all this job? So one of the bank will be appointed as a lead arranger by the borrower to go and gather all the rest of the bank, and the role of the lead arranger will be the one that coordinate, discuss the term, and fine-tune all the discussion with the rest of the bank and the borrower. So as a lead arranger, this bank, in addition to earning the interest from the loan, they will also earn a fee. And usually this lead arrangement role is done by the investment banking department of a bank. The loan is come out from a corporate banking department of the bank, so it's different department. But again, a corporate banker cannot do the lead arrangement. Usually it's done by investment banker. So more feature about syndicated loan. Now, in a syndicated loan, there are other features that are involved or being used. So I will mention this to you now. So some of the syndicated loan, there is a bidding process, meaning that when the borrower need money, for example, the borrower say, okay, the whole thing is arranged, the syndicated loan is in place. The borrower say, I need to have 200 million US now. The lead arranger or the lead bank will call up all the bank and say, okay, now the borrower need this much money, can you bid for it? So what do you mean bid? Bid is a book building process, meaning in Chinese called 建仓或建档. The bank involved in this syndicate will say, okay, now I'm willing to lend 50 million US at the interest rate of 5%. Another bank will say, okay, I'm willing to lend 60 million US at the rate of 7%. So every bank will come up with their amount of loan that they're willing to lend and the interest rate they hope to receive. And then the underwriter will go through the process and they will select which bank to be given the loan portfolio. So there'll be some bank who will not be able to lend the full amount that they're willing to lend. There'll be some bank who is able to lend the full amount that they indicated that they will lend. But again, come to interest rate, all will be using the same interest rate. All will be same interest rate. The only difference after the bidding process, the amount of loan dispersed by different bank in the syndication will be different. Some will get more amount, some will get less amount. But the interest rate is the same because of the common terms and condition of the loan, of the syndicated loan. This is very important. Now, there is also method of dispersing the loan. One is called the underwritten method, meaning that the bank in the syndicate can be a fully committed basis, meaning guarantee. When the borrower want money, they definitely will come out with the money, the loan. This is called underwritten. So in some case, the lead arranger is also the underwriter. But some case, the lead arranger, the bank think that my balance sheet is not so strong, they will get another bank to come in as an underwriter. So this bank will come in as an underwriter. When no bank want to lend, they will lend. They will charge a fee as well. Now, the opposite of underwriting is called the best effort. For example, when this best effort, meaning that none of the bank in the syndication is committed to honor their obligation to lend money to the borrower. So when the borrower needs 200 million US, but during that period of time, all these banks, they say, oh, I already lend my money to other people, I got no money for you. So this is called best effort. So the borrower will have no loan being given to them. Okay. Now, so to do a syndicated loan, what are the fee involved to the borrower? So if you're working for a big company, when your boss asks you to do a syndicated loan arrangement, you have to know what are the costs that you will be paying. So there'll be arrangement fees. You get a lead arranger at the bank who go and organize this whole thing for you. The bank will charge a fee. A commitment fee, for example, if the group of bank come into this syndication, they will say, okay, I will commit up to 200 million for you, and then they will charge a fee. It's something like a standby line. They don't do things for free. Nobody do things for free actually. Agency fee. Agency fee are the bank who in charge of dispersing the loan, collecting the interest, and then distribute the interest to all the respective banks. It's something like a custodian bank, a bank that provide services. Usually they are the settlement department or the custodian department will do all these things. So they will also earn an agency fee. Now, of course, when the loan is involved, you have to pay interest, so there's an interest cost. So these are the fees of a syndicated loan, but there are more. Now, what are the rest of the fee? So the rest of the fee are participation fee. A bank, you want them to participate in this syndicated loan, they will charge you a participation fee. But again, this is not very common. Usually they will charge a commitment fee. So I don't see a lot of participation fee nowadays, or even when I was working in the bank. Underwriting fee, I mentioned, if you get an underwriter, a bank who underwrite when nobody want to lend you any money, then that bank, despite the fact that he's not coming out with any loan, he will charge an underwriting fee. It's something like a guarantee fee. Now, then the last one will be all the legal documentation fee and whatsoever. This is standard. In all loan arrangement, you definitely get a lawyer to draft the document that the banks and the borrower will sign. But in this case, this documentation will be more complicated because all the banks must agree, all the bank must standardize the document, and you'll be vet through by all the bank's respective lawyer. So the fee involved here will be much higher than the bilateral loan legal document. How about the structure of a syndicated loan? Actually, is almost the same as a loan. Like structure meaning the repayment, how it has to be repaid, or the disbursement of the loan and all these things. Now, a structure of syndicate loan, again, it can be a fixed repayment over the loan period. For example, if the loan period is 7 years, the banker can request the borrower that every year you got to repay X amount of money every year. Of course, the loan can also be structured as a bullet or lump sum. Bullet in the sense that it can be from a lender point of view or the borrower point of view. The lender can say, okay, one time I give you all the loan, or I can give you the loan over a period of time. That's a fixed payment. Or for the borrower point of view, they can also do a bullet repayment or lump sum. Okay, you don't have to repay me anything, but at the end of 7 years, you pay me P plus I, principal plus interest. So this is called a bullet or lump sum payment. Or they can also structure the syndicated loan on a revolving basis, meaning that you can borrow, repay, as far as you don't exceed the maximum limit, maximum amount. So if the revolving credit facility is $1 billion US, the borrower can maneuver within this $1 billion. They can borrow, and then when the thing is due, they can repay and borrow again. As far as the total outstanding loan do not exceed the 1 billion threshold. Now, let's look at something interesting. Okay, now we talk so much about syndicated loan, but a lot of people say, I never heard about this term. Again, this term are more commonly used in the banking industry. For the big company, if you're an employer of a big company, it's very important that you know all this knowledge so that when you are involved in arranging financing for your company, you know what is a syndicated loan so that you won't look blur in front of your boss and other people. So again, as a retired banker, I'm teaching you all these things so that you can benefit, and please subscribe my video. Now, globally, syndicated loan is huge. It's very big, even bigger than certain segment of the bond market. But again, because it's not being used in a wet market or all this, so only a small group of people, professional bankers, they know what is syndicated loan. Now, if you look at global market, USA is the largest syndicated loan market in the world. The total amount of loan outstanding is about 3.6 trillion US dollar. UK, 160 billion outstanding. France, 170, Canada, 300, and UAE, 40 billion. Now, if we segregate the global distribution of syndicated loan, then you can see from the next slide, North America is actually 48% of the global syndicated loan usage. Europe is about 27%. North America, 48%, 4 trillion, around 4 trillion amount outstanding. And Europe is about 1 trillion, which is about 27% of the global syndicated loan deployment. Asia Pacific and rest of the world is about 25% or around 0.9 trillion. So the total outstanding syndicated loan globally is around 6 trillion, 5.9 trillion to be precise. Okay, now we come to the last slide. I think if I don't talk about Singapore, a lot of viewers might say, hey, how about Singapore? Now, Singapore, basically, syndicated loan market is about 80 billion. Now, this is based on the figure released in the year 2024. So, not small. So you can see that there are 80 billion US dollar amount of loan is being arranged in a syndicated manner. So that shows the importance that as a viewer, whether you are working for a big company, whether you're working for a small company, for your own career development, is very important. You learn everything in my video and you know what is a syndicated loan. So again, this is the end of the video. Really, please subscribe. I'm actually selling my knowledge cheap just in exchange for your subscription. If you ask your peer what is syndicated loan, a lot of people might not even bother to explain, bother to teach you. So again, if you benefit from my video, please subscribe to my videos and forward my video to all your friends to get them to subscribe so that to keep my motivation on. Okay, thank you. See you next video. Bye bye.